Okay guys, so today I'm going to show you how you can build a beautiful wedding planner website like this one here. As you can see, we have our hero section here, a beautiful image in the background, a heading here that clearly says what it is that you do, where you're based, and also a bit of background story about yourself, a call to action button, as you can see, with a beautiful logo as well, and your contact number. Just underneath you have your main services that you provide, like for instance booking the venue, sending the invitations, and getting the food ready. Just underneath we have a quick testimonial as well with a lovely picture of a couple, and about a section letting people know exactly what it is that you do, how long you've been in business, or things like that. And underneath again a call to action button to request a quote. And if they click on either of those call to action buttons, it will bring them to the contact page. So right here again with a lovely picture of the city where you're based, and right here you have your contact details and a request a quote form. A few lovely pictures underneath again, and also we have an about us and a services page. And don't worry, you don't need any coding skills. It's all done using a very simple drag and drop page builder, and as you can see, it's very simple to use, very easy to configure. Okay, so let's get started. Okay guys, so the very first step is to set up our hosting and register our domain name, and for this we're going to use Hostinger. So we have negotiated special terms with them. You can save up to 91% discount if you use the link in the description below. So click on the very first link in the description below where it says mrweb.tv/hosting, and this is going to bring you to this page. Again, this is a co-branded page that we have with Hostinger that gives you access to up to 91% discount. Okay, so it's very important that you use that link. So once you're here, basically all you have to do is click start now, and as you can see, it's only $2.99 per month instead of $6.99 already. Okay, now if you click on this, you can select your billing cycle and save even more money. So clearly the longer your billing cycle, the more you're going to save. So if you were to select 1 year, you will pay $2.99 a month, okay, for the 1 year, but after that the plan will renew at $8.99. so this is the normal cost basically. Okay, so you're saving here $108 over the 1 year period. Now if you were to select 24 months, basically you still paid $2.99, but in 2 years time you will renew at only $7.99. okay, so you're saving here $216. Now if you select 48 months, so 4 years in total, you still pay $2.99 for the full year, okay, for every month. But when you renew, you will renew at only $6.99. So in total, you will save $432. And all these 3 billing cycles here include a free domain for the first year, which is a nice gesture as well. Now, if you scroll down the page, you can enter your email address and or log in using Facebook and Google, and then you select your payment method. So you have credit card, PayPal, Google Pay, Alipay, and CoinGate. So very convenient indeed. And now I'm going to give you an additional coupon code. Okay, so as you can see, if you select for 48 months, it would cost you $143.52. They will apply taxes on top depending where you're based in the world. Okay, so based in Ireland, myself, I would pay $176.53. okay, so this is my total cost for 4 years. Okay, now I have a coupon code, so here you click on this, and now you're going to type all in capital letters Mr. Web Reviews. Okay, and then click apply, and look what's going to happen. So 176.53, and now we're down to 158.88. so you saved an additional 10% on top. So this is the bargain of the century. You know, when you see the quality of the service provided by Hosting, I have all my websites hosted with them, you know, and that's basically it. Now all you have to do is proceed to checkout, and then I'll meet you guys in the next step. And now that you are registered with them, you can log in into your account. Okay, so let's just click login. Use your email address and password. Very good. And as you can see, we are now logged in into our hosting account. So the very first step is to register our free domain. So for this, we click on claim domain. And right here, you're going to type in the domain name that you're looking to register. Okay, so let's say, for instance, your website name. Okay, and then you're going to select the extension. So you have .in for India, .me for personal website, .com for commercial website, you have .net, .xyz. And as you can see, quite a comprehensive selection here. So select the one that you think is suitable for for your type of business. Now, the most common one is .com, obviously, And then after this, you have to check the availability. Now, .com being the most popular one, you might face this error message here. So this domain is already taken, which is very likely to happen, because .com are very popular, obviously. So right here, you might have to look for a different variation of your domain name. So for instance, your unique website name, okay? And let's look for this one instead, okay? So check availability. And as you can see, this one is available. So once you're happy enough with your choice, you can then claim the domain. So all we have to do again is click on this button here. And then we have to enter our details. So if you're running a business, you might put your business details here and then click finish registration. There you go. So that's done now. And let's click continue. And this is going to bring us back to this screen here. And as you can see, the domain name is now active. So now we are ready to set up our server. So we will go back to home. And as you can see here, we have the setup section. So I have a few different plans here, obviously, because I use them for my different tutorials. But the one you have will most likely look like this, so premium shared hosting, okay? So you look at this one and you click setup here next to it, okay? So click setup and now we can get started. So click start now. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to create a new website, obviously, okay? We are going to use WordPress. So this is basically your email address and your password. Now, bear in mind, this will be used for you to access the backend of your WordPress dashboard. So make sure you keep this somewhere safe, okay? So let's click continue. So right here, do you want to install WooCommerce? So WooCommerce is an e-commerce platform. So if you click this, it will install WooCommerce automatically. If you don't tick it, well, basically it's just WordPress on its own. We don't need WordPress for this project, so we're just going to carry on the way it is. And feel free to install any of those additional plugins. Now, personally, I wouldn't use any of them. They're going to bloat your website quite heavily. So for me, I would just leave it as is and click continue. But again, that's really up to you, So let's click continue. Now, as part of the setup process, you can select a theme here and you can click show more as well to find something that's maybe more suitable to you. But don't worry, I have a very nice theme for you. So we're just going to skip this step altogether. So skip, I don't need a template. So basically here, as you can see, you're going to choose our domain. So your unique website name, it's already normally pre-filled here. If it's not, click the drop-down menu and select it manually and click select. And now you need to select the nearest data center to you or your target audience. So if you click on this, you have the map here. So you have West Coast, East Coast, Europe, Asia, and South America. So being based in Ireland myself, I'm going to select Europe here, United Kingdom. There you go. Click change. And that's basically it. Now we can finish the setup. So nearly there, as you can see, 99%. And that's it. As you can see, well done. You are ready. And from here, you can go directly to your WordPress dashboard or your control panel. So we're going to click on control panel because I'd like to show you how to set up your email addresses as well, because we're going to need this for the next step. So right here, we have a quick overview of the health of our website. So your website is running smoothly. So this is what you would expect anyways. So let's set up our emails now. So we click on emails, email accounts, locate your domain name, so your unique website name.com, and click manage. And all you have to do now is click on this big button here, the plus sign, to create a new email address. So usually it's info@ or your name @ or perhaps account @ or whatever you want to create here. So let's say info@ and then enter a password. There you go. And then create. So that's it. Basically, we're all set already. Now we can complete. So you might want to save those details here if you want to read this via Apple Mail or Outlook or Thunderbird or Gmail, perhaps, You will need to enter your SMTP and POP details and also those values here. And don't forget to enable SSL or TLS, okay? So now we click complete. And that's us done with the email address. So we have this done already, so I can leave that page open now because we might come back and check our emails later on during this tutorial, okay? So let's right click on websites here, open in a new tab. And there you go. As you can see, you have your unique website name.com. And now we can access our WordPress dashboard. So all we have to do is basically click on this button here, edit website. And then you'll be redirected to this page. So all you have to do basically is to close this pop-up window here, click on the WordPress logo, and we'll be redirected back to the WordPress dashboard. That's basically it. So now we're going to do a bit of cleaning up. So this is the first step. So we go to plugins and we're going to delete all of these. We don't need any of them all together, So basically bulk select them all. deactivate, apply, and then do the same again, bulk select them all, and then delete, and then apply. Agree? So now we're going to go to settings, and right here, make sure that your title is correct. So this should normally be the name of your business, your personal name, or perhaps the name of the website. And you can add a tagline as well. So the tagline is very useful, especially when your visitors hover on top of the tab. As you can see, we'll display a short description, which is taken from here. So if you want to put maybe a small description about your business and what exactly it is that you do, this will be very helpful to your visitors. Scroll down the page, click Save Changes, and then we go to permalinks, and right here make sure that you select post name. So this is important as well. So let's say if you have a page called About Us, this will display in a certain manner. So it will display basically yourdomainname.com/about-us, which is easy on the eye for your visitors, but also very good for SEO purposes. And then scroll down the page and save changes. And that's it, we're all done for the initial settings already. And now if we hover on top of our title here, we can visit our site. So I'm just going to right click on it, open in a new tab, and there you go. So this is what our website looks like at the moment. So as you can see, very basic, nothing too exciting about it, but don't worry, we are going to install our theme now. So let's go ahead with this. So back to our WordPress dashboard, appearance, themes, and then add new. And we're going to install Astra. So normally it should show up here in the recommended. If it doesn't show up, you can always look in the search box here for Astra, and it should be the very first one. So as you hover on top, as you can see, over an install button, click on it and then activate. Very good, so that's done already. And now we are going to install all the starter templates. So this is going to save us a lot of time. So these are pre-built templates that we can use to basically design our website. So all we have to do is to click on this button here that says Get Started. So click on this, and it's going to bring us to this page here. If you scroll down the page, depending on the screen resolution, you'll find this button here that says Build Your Website. It's a bit hidden, depending, again, like I said, the screen resolution of your computer, So click on this, Build Your Website now. And we're going to build this using Elementor. So Elementor basically is a page builder, and it's a very easy one. It's a drag and drop builder. It's one of the easiest one to use, So let's go ahead with this. So let's click on Elementor. And now we can select among all these different pre-built ready-made templates. So if you scroll down, as you can see, you'll see quite a few of them, So some of them are premium, so these are paid version, and some of them are free, like this one, for instance, So today we are going to build this using only free resources. So we're just going to use one that's readily available here. So for instance, this one here, why not? So these types of themes here, love, nature, outdoor, adventure, are basically called multi-purpose themes. So once you change the background images and the content and the text, basically you can use it for any type of industry, or you can look for a specific theme, for instance, for wedding, and there you go, you have all the wedding related themes as well. So you have wedding invitation again, organizer here. What else do we have? Well, that's basically it, catering and events. So we could use any of them as well, but again, these are paid versions. So again, we are going to use only free resources, okay? So we can use this one here, Love Nature, and if you want to see what it looks like, all you have to do is basically click on it. You'll have a preview here, as you can see, of the menu, hero section, scroll down the page. So we can easily reuse that and turn this into a beautiful website for wedding planners, okay? So we can install this now. Oh, this is fine. If you're not happy with it, you can look for another one, but I think this one is absolutely fine, So let's go ahead with this one, and all we have to do is click skip and continue. For now, we're not going to upload the logo yet. And right here, you can select your palette, basically the colors that you want to use, the color scheme that you want to use on your website. So at the moment, as you can see, the default colors is mainly orange and green, which is very rich, but maybe you use different colors in your branding. So perhaps you use blue, perhaps you use red or purple. So feel free to select the types of the colors that suit your business model, okay, obviously, And you can also select the font. So as you can see, the font will give a different mood, a different feel to the website immediately. So we have the default font here, which is this one, that's called DM Sans. But you can try another one, maybe Fair Play, this one, and you can see what it looks like also in the hero section. And like I said, you know, this gives your website a totally different feel. You see, depending what you want to convey, the emotion and the type of feeling you want to convey, you know. So I'm just going to keep the default one for now, and let's click continue. And right here, all you have to do now is click submit and build my website. And it's just going to take a few seconds. As you can see, you have the progress bar here, and it will go to 100% in just a few seconds. So there you go, 100%, and normally we should see a fireworks. Now there you go, there it is. So that means that it's all done already. Now we can go back to our WordPress dashboard. For this, click on this button here, exit to dashboard. Very good. Now you can dismiss those messages just to let you know that WordPress 6.1.1 is installed, so you can dismiss this. And it's the same here. If you want to leave a review, you can do so, but I'm just going to dismiss the message for now. So let's go back to our front end. So this is what our website used to look like. So let's refresh. And there you go. As you can see, in just a few seconds, we have a ready-made website that you can use now to actually create your own website and design it the way you want. So this is very easy. It's going to save us a lot of time, obviously, you know. And now all you have to do is basically change the content of our website to reflect the type of business and our industry, okay? So let's go back to our WordPress dashboard and let's edit our front page, okay? So as you can see by the side, you have all these different tabs, and the one we're going to click on is pages. So this is where all your pages are. So let's go back to our website. As you can see, we have home, about, services, contacts. So these are 4 different pages. So if I click on about, you will load the about page. As you can see, very professional looking. This is absolutely fine, you know, and we have the contact page as well with the contact form and our contact details. So let's go ahead with the home page first, okay? So we go back here now, and as you can see, these are all our different pages. If you hover on top, as you can see home here, you can edit, quick edit, trash, view, or edit with Elementor. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to edit our page with Elementor. So right click on this, open in a new tab. I'm a big fan of opening different tabs, you know, because you have full control over what's happening. So you can use then your Elementor page, and you can see immediately in the front end what it looks like. And if you need to change something in the back end, you have all these tabs opened all at once, which is very easy, you know. So this is what is called Elementor. So again, Elementor is a page builder. So on the left-hand side, we have all the elements, which are called widget. And on the right-hand side, we have a preview of the content of our page. So by default, it will show up the navigator. You can close this for now. And how does it work? Basically, as you can see, if I hover on top of each section, you have all this blue frame all around it. So if I click on this, as you can see, this is a section. And inside my section, we have columns, okay? And inside the columns, you have different elements. So if I click on this, this is a heading, and this one here is a button, as you can see, okay? And it's the same for all these different sections. So this is, again, a section made out of different columns, and each column contains different widgets. As you can see, this one is an image, and underneath this is an image box. So all together, this is how this works. If you click on those few dots, you go back to your elements, and then you can drag and drop anything on your page. So if I wanted to insert, let's say, this heading here right there in between, there you go. Now I just added a heading, and now we can customize this from the toolbar here by the side. Okay, so this is basically how it works. If you want to delete something, hover on top, right click on it, delete. And then you can move stuff around as well. So if I wanted to move this around in this place, I can move that around, as you can see, from one to the other. And this is basically it. This is how it works. So it's very intuitive and very easy to use. So let's start from the beginning. So the very first thing you need to take care of is your hero section, because this is the first thing that they'll see when they land on your website. So the main purpose of a hero section is to provide your visitors with all the information required for them to know if they are in the right place. So you need to let them know what it is that you do, how you can help them, and perhaps as well where you're based geographically in the world. And you can use pictures as well in the background to help convey that message. Okay, so let's start customizing this. As you can see, you have 2 different headings. So if you hover on top, you can customize it. Just basically click on it, and now we can change the content. So the first one, maybe we're going to put wedding planner. And underneath, perhaps you're going to put the location where you're based, you know. So instead of nature, let's say Dublin, Ireland. So now if someone lands on your website or your homepage, they will see Wedding Planner Dublin, Ireland. So this way, if your visitors are not based in Dublin, maybe outside of Dublin or altogether outside of Ireland, they won't be interested in looking any further. But if your visitors are based in Dublin and they're looking for a wedding planner, you get their attention immediately, okay? So here underneath, we have a bit of text. So this is where you can put a little bit about yourself, you know, like a catchy tagline. So basically try to make it as concise as possible, so not too long. As you can see, creating unforgettable wedding experiences that capture the essence of your love story. So this would be a nice way of opening up, you know. So as you can see now, the font is a little bit too small, but don't worry, you can change this as well, you know. So you can stylize everything by going to the style section. So this works as well for our heading here. So if you wanted to make this a little bit smaller, you can go to style. As you can see, you have typography. So typography means font. It's everything related to the font. And if you click on the blue pencil here, you can change the size. So just basically use the slider here. You make it a little bit bigger, or smaller, whichever you would prefer, you know. So maybe 102 like this, you know. You can change the font weight as well. So this is semi-bold at the moment, but maybe you want it black, you know, just to draw the attention fully to the location. Or perhaps the other way around. Maybe you want it a bit lighter or thinner altogether, you know. So let's go maybe happy medium, maybe 700. And then you can customize your fonts just like this, you know. Now, if you go to the advanced section, you can add a little bit of margin. I think it's maybe too close to this. As you can see, it's set to -50 here. We can reduce that a little bit and give it a bit of breathing space. I think it'd probably be better if we'd be around this zone here, about this, you know. This is better. And now we can configure this one as well. So if you hover on top and click on it, we can go to style again and change the typography. As you can see at the moment, it's centered. So we might increase that a little bit. I think it's maybe a little bit too small, you know. So maybe around that size. But now we want this maybe on 2 different lines. So if you go to advanced, we can add a little bit of padding on the left and on the right. So if you unlink this, on the right, we're going to put maybe 50 pixels, percent. We're going to put in percent, hold on. So instead of pixels here, select percent. And let's say to the right, we're going to put 20% and 20% on the left-hand side. And as you can see now, it's divided in 2 different lines. Yeah, I think that looks good now. So that's perfect. So now just underneath, we have the call to action button. So if you click on this, you can customize everything about it as well. So perhaps instead of get started, you can call this request a quote, you know. So let's type request a quote instead. Request a quote. Sorry, there it is. Okay. And now we need to add a link. So perhaps we're going to use the contact page. And later on, we'll add, instead of let's get in touch, we'll replace this with request a quote form, okay? So we can do this. So all we do is basically copy the address, Control-C, and then paste it here instead of the hashtag, Control-V, and then update. Now you can change the color of the button as well, you know. If you go to style, as you can see, you have this here, background color, and you can replace this maybe with a red. And you can change the font color as well, you know, maybe a pink or whatever color you prefer. So I think it looks great in yellow because this is the color we selected, part of our scheme, the palette we selected initially. But again, it's really up to you if you want to change the color, just to let you know it's available from here. And then next we have to replace the background image. So what you do basically is to hover on top of the section, click on the 6 dots here, and as you can see, edit section. And if you go to style, this is where the image is. So now we need to find an image that suits our needs. So if you have actual images that you've taken from existing weddings, you can use that if you have the permission of your customers, obviously, you know, or you can look for stock images as well. A very good website for this is pexels.com, and you can simply search for anything here, okay? So let's type wedding, generally speaking, you know, as you can see, this would be a very lovely picture, or actually, you know, or perhaps this one as well. It doesn't have to be the exact same ratio because we can crop the image anyways, you know, regardless. Okay, so I kept scrolling down, so I found this one here. I think this one might be suitable, you know. If you click on it, you have the free download and you can select the size. So you don't want it too big, so 1920 by 2880, and then you can download that, okay? And then save that on your hard drive. And now we can go back to our website, and now we can delete this one, click on the plus sign, and then upload file. So now upload the picture we just downloaded. So this is the one, okay? So open. And just behind me, there's a button here that says Insert Media. Click on it. There you go. As you can see, now this is wedding like. This is related to weddings. You know, if you land on this page, you see wedding planner, Dublin, Ireland, and you see the scene here in the background. You think immediately, oh, that's it. That's the right spot for me, okay? Now, as you can see, the font and the background image are fine. There's enough contrast. You can easily read that, but perhaps depending on the type of image that you will select, you might have to tweak the background overlay. So there's already a black background overlay on it. So let me show you what this does. If you click on background overlay, you have the color here, and you can change the opacity. So you can go from fully clear to fully opaque, as you can see, okay? And basically you have to choose a happy medium that will provide a good contrast between the font and the background. So in our case here, 0.2 is fine, and you can change the color as well. So maybe you prefer a blue, you see you can change the shade, or maybe a reddish or more purplish, you know, whichever, you know, color you prefer. So let's keep it black for now, and this is absolutely fine. So this is basically the background overlay and how this works. So now from time to time, don't forget to click update to save your changes, obviously, you know. So next, after they've seen your hero section here, they'll be wondering what type of services you provide. So this is the logical conclusion here, you know. So our next section here is the services section. So you can change the title here, but I think our services is absolutely fine, you know. But again, you can just edit this if you wanted to, you know, click on it and then change the title. And then right here, we can add our few services. So at the moment, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3 different columns. Now you provide maybe 3 different services, maybe only 2, maybe more than that, maybe 5 or 6 all together. So let me show you how you can configure this now, okay? So basically, if you click on this section, this is the image, and underneath we have what is called an image box. So there's no image attached to it, but the image box will help us to have a title and then a little bit of explanation just underneath, and it looks absolutely beautiful and gorgeous like this, you know? So first, let's upload our different images. So let's say perhaps you provide 4 different services, okay? So what we can do is to right-click on the section here and then duplicate it. Now, as you can see, now we have 4 different sections. Now let's say you have maybe 6 of them. Well, you can delete one of them, delete, and then we can duplicate the whole section itself, duplicate again, and now as you can see, we have 6 different sections. Now perhaps you want 2 on top and 3 at the bottom. Very easy. All you have to do is delete this one, and there you go. Now we have 5 different services, okay? Let's go ahead with 3 perhaps for now. Let's keep it simple. You'll get the idea anyways, you know. So let's start changing our picture. So I found a few online. So you click on this, upload files, select files, and let's upload those few here that I found. Okay, so open. So ideally you want your images to be the same size, the same ratio, okay? So let's say this one here is 800 by 1199. You need those 3 images that you're going to use to be the same size. As you can see, these are the exact same size, all of them, okay? So I'm just going to use this one first, or perhaps wait, yeah, we can use this one, okay? So insert. So this could be for the venue. Perhaps you do also the invitations. And then getting the food ready maybe. So insert media, there you go. So I have 3 beautiful images. So imagine this, if you land on that website already, you're going to make a very strong impression, you know. That looks beautiful, doesn't it? Now underneath here, we can tweak this around now. So let's change this. So the first one here, you can say, well, we're booking the venue, okay? So you'll take care of this. So next, sending the invitations. Okay, and perhaps here getting the food ready or something like this, okay? And obviously you can change the text here underneath as well. So let me do that very quickly. So there you go, guys. As you can see, now I've added a little bit of text underneath. So basically here, you don't want it to be too long, but not too short either. You know, you need to provide all the important bits of information that's required. You know, if they're looking to know booking the venue, what exactly is involved, where will it be, etc., the invitation, basically everything, all the questions they might have on their minds when they land on your website, you basically need to fill them in at this stage, you know. So again, feel free to type as much text as you want, but I wouldn't go too far either. Maybe this amount is about the right amount, you know. So next, let's scroll down the page. So here we have what's called a quote. So this is basically used as a testimonial section, you know. So you could ask one of your happy customers if you wouldn't mind sharing a quote, a testimonial here on your website. And if they do agree, they consent, well, you can just add it here. Again, very simply, you can change this by clicking on the section itself and you change the text here. Okay, so let's change the content here together. So perhaps something like this, you know, I cannot recommend this wedding planning team enough. From start to finish, they made our wedding planning experience stress-free and enjoyable. So obviously, anyone landing on your website would be confident enough to at least request a quote with you, you know. Now here underneath, we have an image, so you can replace this with your own. So let's upload one. I found a picture of a woman getting married here. There you go, a couple, nice couple, you know. So let's insert this, so that looks nice. So as you can see, this is a square image. Now we can change this, you know, we can change the size and everything. So if you go to style, let's change the size a little bit. Let's make it a little bit bigger because you want to see who's on the picture, obviously, you know. You can set the max width as well. So this is for responsiveness. And you have the border radius. So let me show you a nice trick here. If you put the border radius to 25, as you can see, you have some rounded edges. And then if you replace that by 100, it's a full circle basically, okay? So we could leave it like this, and then we can change the name here underneath. So you have the name, obviously, you know, and maybe you want to add the location as well, Lucan, and perhaps County Dublin, so people know that she lives in Ireland as well, you know. And then you can scroll down the page, and right here we have a short about us section. So this is where you're going to give as much information as you can about your business, but the important bits, what matters the most, in a more succinct form. As you can see, just a few sentences, you know. So think about what your visitors will be thinking about. So maybe how long have you been in business? How many customers have you dealt with, you know, or something like this. So basically, this is the type of information that you would type in here. So let's change the title together here. So let's click on this. So perhaps creating unforgettable wedding experiences. And then you're going to add a bit of about us here underneath. So again, this is just a teaser, you know, not too much, but just enough. And right here, as you can see, you have the find out more button. So this is a button, and we can link that to the about us page. Okay, so if you click on about us on the website, select the URL here, Control-C, and let's paste it here. Okay, there you go. And find out more, that's fine, or you can change read more or whatever you prefer, you know. So right here we have an image as well. So let's replace that with something more related to weddings. So I found one online. As you can see, this one is very nice. So let's insert this, and that looks just about perfect now, doesn't it? So as always, don't forget to click update. Okay, so let's take care of our final section here. So this is a call to action, basically, you know. So questions or get in touch or request a quote, whatever you want to say, you know. Here, put a bit of text underneath, and then you have to go the call to action button itself. So let's talk now, and you can link that again to the contact page, you know. So if you go to contact here, fetch the URL, Control-C, and then you can paste it here, basically, you know. There you go. And that's basically it. So now we need to change the image in the background as well. So again, we go to style, remove the image, click on the plus sign. Let's upload a new one. I found one online. So this one here, as you can see, with the venue itself and all the seats. So insert media. And like we said earlier on, as you can see, the contrast between the font and the background is not easy to read at all. So we're going to add a background overlay. Let's select a background type. This is going to be a color. So let's select black perhaps. Okay. And then we're going to change the opacity. So as you can see, we might want to change this a little bit. So maybe just about here, you know, 0.3. And then we can change the font color then. So we're going to click on our text, style, and change the font colors. Let's try white. Yeah, that's a lot better. And again here, style, change the font color to white and full opacity. There you go. Now that's easy to read, you know. And again, you can tweak this around basically based on the image that you have. But what you want is for the text to be easy to read, and you have enough contrast between the two. And once you're done, basically click update. And that's it. That's just done with the home page already. Now after this, you need to make sure that it looks good on mobile phones and tablets as well, you know. So as you can see here by the side, you have this responsive mode. If you click on this, you can change the type of devices, and it will adapt the layout basically based on the type of device. So this is for a tablet. As you can see, this looks fine, you know, but sometimes you might have to do a bit of tweaking around, you know. So if you look on mobile phones, so let's scroll back to the top now. 1 second. There it is. So as you can see, the image is looking fine, the text as well. Now you can tweak things around just for the type of devices, you know. So if you think that Dublin, Ireland is too big, I think it is too big now, you know, for this type of device, you can go to style, you can click on typography, and now you can change the size. As you can see here, is specifically for mobile phones, you know. So you might want to make it a little bit smaller. Then you can go to advanced and here reduce the spacing, increase the spacing, sorry, between the two. There you go. And that looks fine, you know. Now you might want to remove the padding that we added here, 2020. So perhaps maybe for mobile phones, we're going to put 0 altogether. There you go. This is fine, you know. So there are a few areas like this you might have to tweak specifically for mobile phones, but make sure that it looks good on mobiles as well, you know. So again, click update, and that's basically it. Now if you want to go back in normal mode, you can exit out of this, and we are back to our wedding planner website. So now let's go back to our home page and let's refresh very quickly. There you go. So as you can see, hero section looks absolutely fantastic. Wedding planner, Dublin, Ireland. There's no doubt in anyone's mind when they land on this page, you know exactly what it is that you do. These are the services that you provide. Underneath a testimonial with a lovely image here of that couple getting married, and we have a short about us section and then the call to action button here. So that looks absolutely fantastic already. So as you can see, we have a menu section here, so home, about, services and contact. So if you go back here, is the same basically, okay? So if you click on the About Us page, you can change this yourself. It's the same principle as the home page, you know. All you have to do is basically change the image here, change the content here, the text. So again, the same way we've done it with the home page. We're just going to change the contact page together now, and then I'm going to show you how you can change your menu section, change your logo as well, and the contact number right here. So first, let's take care of our contact us page. So we go back to our dashboard now, and this time we're going to edit the contact page. So if you hover on top, edit with Elementor, right click, open in a new tab. So this way again, we have all the different tabs open. It's very easy for us to go from one to the other, okay? So right here on top, we can keep contact us. This is fine, but we're going to change the image. So the contact us page, basically, people want to know where you're based immediately, you know? So if you put an image of your city maybe, or something that's representative of your area, that'd be nice as well, you know? So I found one here from Dublin, you know, the Halfpenny Bridge, very famous landmark. So insert. Very good. So we have this now. And again, if you don't have enough contrast between the font and the background, you can always add the background overlay and increase the opacity basically, okay? So there it is, just about perfect here. And then we're going to change the content here. So as you can see, you can find us at, so you can change this for whatever you want, you know, contact us, our address, office address, or contact us here or something like this. So the email address you can change very easily, again, to click on it. So let's say hello@mrweb.tv. You can do the same with your phone number. So 012345678, and then your location. So right here, you're going to put your address, 123, street name, location, city, and that's basically it, okay? And you can put the country if you want as well, just to be on the safe side. So right here underneath, we have a few social icon buttons as well. So Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, perhaps you also have LinkedIn. So just add one, you know, click on this and look and search for LinkedIn basically. Okay, there it is, insert. And then you can add the link to your landing page, to your account basically, okay? I'm just going to put hashtag here, and you do the same with this one, Instagram the same, and that's basically it, okay? Now you can select the original colors, the official colors, as you can see right here, or you can customize the color yourself. So I think at the moment, the way it is, it's absolutely fine, but be aware that you can change the color if you want it to. If you want it to be maybe a blue, you know, the original blue, you can pick this color here, and there you go. Now again, this is really up to you, you know. So let's keep it neutral the way it was, and then let's take care of this section here. So instead of let's get in touch, as we said, this is going to be our request a quote section, okay? There you go. And right here underneath, as you can see, if I click on this, this is a short code. So what is a short code? Well, basically a shortcode is using another plugin within WordPress that's not part of Elementor. So in this case, this is called WP Forms. So if you go back to your dashboard, this is why I keep all the windows open all at once. As you can see, I have a tab here that says WP Form. If you click on it, you will find your form here. As you can see, this is the shortcode ID number 6, and this is exactly it. Okay, so let's click update first, and now we can tweak the content of our form. So let's click on contact form edit, and this is also a drag and drop contact form builder, so very easy to use as well. So first, let's rename it. This is not a contact form, it is a request a quote. Okay, so we can go back to general now, to our fields. So as a wedding planner, what sort of information do you need? Well, I suppose you need the name, the email address, perhaps a contact number. So you can drag and drop this here underneath, and then you can change the content as well. So if you click on it, as you can see here, you can type contact number, perhaps, you know. Do you want this to be mandatory or not and required? You can use a toggle switch here to enable that or not. Okay. And you can define how much space you want it to take. So if you go to advanced here, as you can see, medium, small is only 1/3, medium is half, and large is the full width. Okay, so maybe small for the phone number, that'd be fine. And obviously you want to know when they're getting married, you know. So let's add another field. So this is going to be a single line as well. And then let's put here wedding date. There you go. Now feel free to add as much information as you need. I'm a web designer, not a wedding planner, so I don't know what sort of information you need, but basically this is how this works, okay? And again, this one to look fine, we're gonna add a small as well. So there you go. So now we click save. And now you want to make sure the email reaches you as well. Okay, so we go to settings now. And you have the notifications. So by default, like I said, it will fetch the admin email address, which is the one that we added in the settings, WordPress settings. Now you might want to send this somewhere else. Okay, so let's say hello@mrweb.tv, or maybe your email address at gmail.com, at applecloud.com, or whichever, you know. So just add your email address right here, and you can do the same here in the from email section. So as you can see, we get a warning message here that says the email address is not coming from the same domain name. Obviously here the domain I'm using is mrwebreviewstutorials.com, which is a test domain name I use from all my tutorials, you know. So normally if I had info@mrwebreviewstutorials.com, it would be fine, but because I'm using mrweb.tv, is throwing this error message here, but don't worry about that, it will be working fine for you. So I'll click save. And now we go back here, as you can see. So this is our form number 6. Now if we refresh, there you go. As you can see, now we have your name, email address, contact number, wedding date, and also a message. So this is basically how this works, okay? Now you may have noticed these ones are in bold letters, which is not very nice. So we can go back here and tweak this around a little bit. So let's go back to our fields, and basically we are going to remove the title here, the label. So Control X. And we're going to add this in the placeholder text instead, okay? And we do the same with this one. So we're going to remove the wedding date, Control X, and then paste it in the placeholder text, okay? Now click save. And let's put this to the test again. So let's refresh. And there you go. As you can see, this looks absolutely fine. This is very professional looking. So underneath, we have a few more things here that you can change. You know, it's up to you. You can use this section or not. If you don't want it, you can delete it altogether. I don't see the point of this unless you want to add lovely images. So maybe you can change those images with something else. So let me see now if we could add maybe this one. Let's add this one as well. Let's add this one as well. And again here. And finally this one here, okay? There you go. So we have 4 lovely images now. And then you can change the title here for something else, you know. So all together, I think our page looks fantastic now. So we have the header, contact us, and our request a quote form. So as always, click update to save your work. And that's basically it. That's just done for our pages now. So all that's left to do is to take care of our menu section, our phone number here, change our logo, and then our footer section as well. Okay, so that's going to be very easy done. Just a few minutes will be sorted. So let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. We go to Appearance, Customize. And right here on top, if you hover on the logo, you can click on the small pencil here, and this is where we can change it. Okay, so I can simply remove that, add a new one, upload file. So ideally you want this to be clear with a clear background, obviously, you know. So I have a white and a black version of it. So let's see which one fits best. So let's select the white one, choose. There you go. As you can see, this is way too small, so you can change the width here underneath using this slider. And I think just about here would be about perfect, I think, yeah. Mr. and Mrs. Save the date. There you go. And you can add one for Retina display as well if you wanted to, okay. So let's select an image, select the same one. This should be high resolution as well. So Retina displays for mainly MacBook Pros, iPads, and all of that. So this is us done for this. As you can see, the number here, again, hover on top, click on the blue pencil. You can replace this with your phone number. So 0123456778. And if you want this your visitors to be able to click this button on their phones and ring you immediately, you can replace that here. So tell and then semicolon, and then put your phone number again with the area code attached to it. And then click publish. And that's it, that's us done. So now for the menu section, we have to exit out of this. And this time we go to Appearance, Menus. And there it is. As you can see, Home, About, Services, and Contact. Perhaps you don't need the services page. Click on this, expand, remove. And if you want to remove more than one at once, you can bulk select and then click remove selected items. Okay. Now you can add as many pages as you want as well. So if you wanted to add services, click on it, add to menu, and then you can drag and drop it where you want it to be. And if it's indented, it'll be main category and then subcategory basically, okay? So that's basically how this works. So save menu once you're done. And now all that's left is the footer section. And for this, again, we go to Customize, scroll down the page. That's basically the exact same menu section we have on top, the exact same pages, okay? So right here we have the logo, so click on this. Now you can replace this with our own logo. So we're going to add media and then select the darker version then, okay? Insert. There you go, that looks absolutely fine. And all we have to change is the text here by the side. So if you hover on top again, as you can see, you have the blue pencil, just click on it, and now we can change the text here, okay? So perhaps you're going to put something like this, you know, wedding planner, Dublin, Ireland, and then click publish. And that's basically it, guys. We're done already. So let's go back to our home page. Let's refresh one more time. And there you go, Mr. and Mrs. This is our logo. This is our contact number, our menu section. And if you scroll down the page, this is our home page, the way we designed it. And at the bottom, it looks fantastic. We have our own logo as well, and a quick reminder of who we are. Here you could put a company name as well. Perhaps if it's a limited company or something, just put the name of your business here, and this will build trust and credibility as well. So there you go, guys. That's basically it. Now, maybe you want to find out how you can build a beautiful e-commerce website. If so, I'll leave this video here for you.